Ladies and gentlemen, what if I told you that your life isn't waiting on a miracle, it's waiting on a habit? We keep asking for breakthrough, for clarity, for purpose, but heaven is echoing back. I've already placed the seed in your routine, just water it. Your transformation doesn't lie in what you wish for, it lies in what you do daily. Yes, daily. You see, success is not an event, it's a rhythm built by choices you make when no one is watching, by disciplines that seem small but carry eternal weight. And I promise you this, if you commit to just 5 daily habits for the next 30 days, your life, yes, your life will never look the same. Let's begin. Before your feet hit the floor in the morning, before your phone buzzes, before the demands of the day try to steal your focus, you must understand something. Your words are not random. They are not mere sound or empty breath. Your words carry life or death, hope or heaviness, progress or paralysis. What you speak, especially over yourself, shapes the very atmosphere of your life. Many people wake up and allow the world to dictate their narrative. They wake up already defeated, already anxious, already overwhelmed. They look in the mirror and rehearse their insecurities. I'm tired. I'm behind. I can't do this. Nothing ever works for me. And they wonder why their life keeps reflecting chaos, fear, and failure. But let me ask you, what if your life is only echoing what your mouth has been declaring? What if the breakthrough you're crying out for is waiting on you to change the way you speak? There is supernatural power in your tongue, not magic, authority. The authority to set the tone, to command your focus, to align your mind, and to prophesy into your future. You are not just a passive observer of life, you are a co-creator. And every time you open your mouth, you are planting seeds, seeds that grow into your next season. The question is, are you planting weeds or are you planting fruit? Speaking life doesn't mean ignoring reality, it means refusing to be ruled by it. You may feel broken, but you can still say, I am healing. You may feel lost, but you can still declare, I am being guided. You may not have arrived, but you can boldly speak, I am becoming. The habit of speaking life must become a daily discipline. It cannot be reserved for Sundays or emotional highs. It must be intentional, because negativity will come uninvited. Doubt will knock on your door without warning. But truth must be spoken on purpose. Start every morning with your own declaration of victory. Before you scroll, before you compare, before the world begins pulling you in every direction, speak over your day. Say things like, today I walk in wisdom, strength, and peace. Doors are opening for me even if I can't see them yet. I was created for a purpose, and today I step into it. I forgive, I release, and I move forward. I'm not what I went through, I'm what I've overcome. It's not about hype, it's about alignment. When your words align with truth, your heart follows. And when your heart follows, your actions begin to shift. When your actions shift, your life changes. But it all begins with your mouth. Some of you grew up in environments where you were never affirmed. You were never told you could succeed. You were never told you were worthy, capable, or loved. And now you don't know how to say those things to yourself. But hear this, you are not obligated to continue that cycle. You have permission to speak what no one ever spoke over you. You can be the voice you never had. You can become your own encouragement. Don't let your feelings lead your speech. Let your speech lead your feelings. You may not feel strong, but say it anyway. You may not feel favored, but declare it anyway. You may not see the evidence yet, but speak it into existence anyway. When you begin to speak life daily, something inside you starts to rise. Confidence begins to return. Vision sharpens. Fear loses its grip. You stop reacting to life and you start commanding it, not with arrogance, but with authority. Not because of who you are, but because of who you're becoming. And that kind of habit, practiced with boldness and belief, has the power to unlock a brand new version of you. There's a reason why the quietest part of the day holds the greatest power. Before the noise, before the rush, before the world starts making demands of you, there is a sacred space. It's in the stillness of early morning where your spirit becomes sharp, your thoughts become clear, and your purpose begins to speak. The early hours aren't just a time slot on the clock. They are a gift, a secret place where clarity lives, waiting to be discovered. So many people wake up just in time to chase the day. They scramble, they react, they go through the motions, lost in the fog of routine, never asking why. And without knowing it, they spend their entire day in survival mode, always responding, never leading. But you weren't created to survive your days. You were created to command them, and you can't command a day you haven't first met in stillness. Rising early is not just about productivity, it's about alignment. It's about meeting the day with intention, not tension. When you rise early, you position yourself above distraction. The noise of the world hasn't kicked in yet. Your phone isn't demanding attention. Social media hasn't polluted your focus. And in that still sacred hour, you can hear what matters. You can hear you. You can hear God. The early morning becomes your altar, your strategy room, your place of peace. It's where you get ahead mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, long before the rest of the world starts spinning. Because let's be honest, clarity doesn't come from chaos. It doesn't come from rushing or running. It comes from silence, from solitude, from that quiet whisper in your soul that you often miss in the noise of everyday life. When you rise early, you give yourself a chance to check in with your purpose. You can ask, what matters today? Who do I need to become to handle what's coming? What assignment have I been given in this season? Where am I drifting and where do I need to refocus? You're not just getting up for the sake of being disciplined. You're getting up to seek clarity, and clarity is power. A clear mind makes sharper decisions. A clear heart carries peace. A clear vision fuels energy and direction. You don't have to wake up to stress. You can wake up to strategy. Even 5 minutes of early stillness can reset your entire day. 5 minutes to breathe, to pray, to journal, to plan, not just what to do, but who to be. The version of you who is calm, confident, focused, unshaken. That version is forged in the morning, not found in the middle of chaos. Don't let the bed keep you from the blessing. Don't let sleep rob you of your clarity. Comfort feels good for a moment, but clarity will change your life. Because when you rise early, you're sending a message, not just to your schedule, but to your soul. You're saying, I'm not going to drift through this life. I'm here on purpose. I'm showing up early to meet the day head on. I'm prepared. I'm aligned. I'm ready. This isn't just about changing your morning. This is about changing your mindset. The one who rises early with vision and direction is the one who walks through the day with authority. They aren't intimidated by challenges. They aren't overwhelmed by distractions. Why? Because they've already anchored themselves before the storm ever started. When others are reacting, you are already grounded. When others are scattered, you are focused. When others are chasing clarity, you've already found it in the stillness, in the early, in the secret place where transformation begins. Everything you do flows from one place, your mind. Your habits, your words, your emotions, your choices, they all begin in that invisible battlefield between your ears. And if you don't win the war there, it won't matter how much talent you have, how many goals you set, or how much you want to change. Because the external cannot be transformed until the internal is first renewed. That's why this habit, meditation, and mind renewal is not optional, it's foundational. Many people live life on autopilot. They wake up and immediately flood their minds with news, noise, social media, or stress. From the first moment, their thoughts are being shaped, not by truth, not by purpose, but by fear, worry, distraction, and pressure. And over time, that becomes their default state. Anxious, confused, doubting, drifting, always reacting, never ruling. But here's the truth. You do not have to accept every thought that enters your mind. You have the power to choose. You have the authority to take captive every lie, every doubt, every fearful imagination, and replace it with truth. But that won't happen by accident. That kind of transformation requires meditation. That kind of renewal requires intention. To meditate is to focus your mind deeply, to reflect on truth, to rehearse what's right even when everything around you feels wrong. It's not about emptying your mind. It's about filling it with what gives life. It's about focusing on what God says about you until it drowns out what the world says about you. Even 10 minutes of focused meditation in the morning can realign your entire identity. Start by choosing a truth, a verse, a powerful statement, a vision of the person you are becoming. Close your eyes, breathe slowly, Picture that truth wrapping around your mind like armor. Speak it out loud. Feel it sink deep into your spirit. Let it silence every doubt. Let it uproot every lie. Let it interrupt the cycles that have kept you small, insecure, fearful, or ashamed. You don't rise by accident. You rise by design, and it starts with what you feed your mind. If you constantly feed your mind negativity, you'll live in discouragement. If you feed it confusion, you'll live in chaos. But if you feed it truth daily, deliberately, you'll begin to walk in clarity, peace, and power. Renewing your mind isn't a one-time fix. It's a daily reset. Because just like your body needs food, your mind needs direction. It needs nourishment. And every day, you either renew your mind or the world will do it for you. And trust me, the world is not interested in your healing. It's not interested in your purpose. It will distract you with noise, deceive you with fear, and numb you with endless information. But you don't have to live like that anymore. You can interrupt that noise. You can rewire the patterns. You can step out of agreement with the lies and step into alignment with the truth. Don't just hear positive things. Meditate on them. Don't just know Scripture. See yourself living it. Don't just write affirmations. Let them saturate your identity. Over time, this daily practice becomes more than a habit. It becomes a weapon, a shield, a guide. Because when your mind is renewed, your life begins to follow. Decisions become easier. Boundaries become clearer. Goals become reachable. Peace becomes natural. You stop self-sabotaging and you start self-commanding. You stop questioning your worth and you start walking in it. This isn't about pretending you're okay. It's about reprogramming yourself with what is eternally true, even when your emotions disagree. It's about building a fortress of faith in your mind so strong that fear can't live there anymore. And that power, it's already in you. You just have to activate it day by day, thought by thought, truth by truth. You can pray all day. You can journal your goals, write your affirmations, read the books, quote the verses, and dream the biggest dreams. But until you move, nothing moves. There comes a point in every journey where your progress demands more than belief. It demands action, intentional, consistent, courageous action, not impulsive movement, not reaction, but action birthed from clarity, conviction, and purpose. Too many people are waiting for the perfect moment, waiting to feel ready, waiting for more confirmation, waiting for the fear to disappear. But here's the truth, the perfect moment will never come. Clarity doesn't always arrive before obedience. Most of the time, clarity follows obedience. The fog lifts after you take the first step. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need the full picture. You just need to move on the instruction you have now, because movement creates momentum. One small step taken in faith is more powerful than 100 intentions locked in fear. Intentional action means you wake up every day and ask, what does obedience look like today? It means you're no longer chasing motivation. You're operating by discipline. You're not led by how you feel. You're led by what you know you're called to do. This kind of action isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters more. It's not about being busy. It's about being effective. You can be active and still be aimless, but intentional action is strategic. It's prayer-backed. It's purpose-driven. Start small. You don't need to overhaul your life in a day. What you need is a pattern of showing up. One phone call, one commitment kept, one unhealthy habit replaced, one boundary reinforced. 1 hour of focused work on that dream you've been putting off for years. You build confidence by keeping promises to yourself. Every time you take action, even when it's hard, even when no one sees it, you build internal strength. You train your spirit. You reinforce the truth. I am not powerless. I am not stuck. I am not a victim of circumstance. I am a vessel of purpose, and I move forward on purpose. Your mind may try to delay you. Fear will try to paralyze you. Doubt will whisper that it's not enough, not perfect, not ready. But let me remind you, God does not bless indecision. He blesses movement. He directs the steps, not the stagnation, of the righteous. And make no mistake, this is war. Every time you move in purpose, you're confronting the part of you that wants to stay the same. You're pushing back against the comfort zone that's disguised itself as safety. But growth never happens in ease. It happens when you do the thing you're scared to do, not because you're fearless, but because you're faithful. You'll never feel like it 100% of the time, but you don't need to. You just need to decide once and then act daily. Let your decisions be louder than your doubts. Let your habits outwork your excuses. Action is how dreams come to life. It's how ideas become impact. It's how faith becomes fruit. It's how calling becomes legacy. If you want to transform your life in 30 days, don't just think differently, move differently. Don't just wait for change, become the change. Don't just sit in intention, walk in execution. Each step, no matter how small, becomes part of the foundation you're building. Each day you act with intention. You're telling the future, I'm coming for you and I'm not coming empty-handed. There's a force in your life more powerful than money, more refreshing than rest, more healing than therapy, and more contagious than fear. Gratitude, but not just the kind of gratitude you speak once in a while, not the kind you remember only when things are going right. I'm talking about a daily active living gratitude, a gratitude in motion. Because real gratitude is not passive, it's not silent, it's not reserved for moments when everything is going well. Real gratitude moves, it speaks, it shows up, it breathes life into whatever space it enters. And when you make it a habit, when you choose to activate gratitude every single day, it will shift your perspective, your energy, your relationships, and your outcomes. You don't need everything to be perfect to give thanks. You don't need every prayer answered to be grateful. And you certainly don't need your situation to change before your spirit does. In fact, one of the greatest signs of maturity, one of the deepest indicators of strength, is your ability to be grateful even in the middle of the mess. Gratitude is how you win while you're still waiting. It's how you stay elevated when life tries to drag you down. It's how you protect your peace in a world full of pressure. You see, gratitude doesn't mean you're ignoring the pain. It doesn't mean you're pretending nothing's wrong. It means you're choosing to anchor yourself in what's right. You're deciding with courage and faith to magnify what's working, not what's broken. Because what you magnify, you multiply. When you focus on what's missing, you create more lack. When you focus on what's wrong, you create more stress. But when you focus on what's good, even if it's small, you open the door to more goodness, more peace, and more power in your life. Gratitude is a gateway to joy, creativity, clarity, and miracles. It's not just a nice idea, it's a spiritual principle. When you give thanks, you attract more to be thankful for. When you acknowledge the blessings, you become more aware of how blessed you already are. And it doesn't take much to begin, it just takes a decision. Every morning, take 5 minutes and list 3 things you're grateful for. Not generic things, but specific, personal ones. The way the light pours through your window, the breath in your lungs, the wisdom you've gained through past mistakes, the fact that you're still here even after everything you've been through. Say it out loud, write it down, let it move from your mind to your mouth to your motion. Because gratitude, when practiced daily, doesn't just stay in your heart. It shows up in how you walk, how you talk, how you treat people, how you handle delays and disappointments. Gratitude turns entitlement into humility, frustration into peace, and comparison into confidence. It's impossible to be truly grateful and bitter at the same time. It's impossible to be truly grateful and anxious at the same time. And it's impossible to walk in gratitude and stay stuck in the past. This is not about pretending everything is okay. It's about remembering that even in the storm, there is still something good. And when you find that something, you hold on to it. You speak it. You walk in it. Gratitude is what reminds your soul, I'm not empty, I'm not lost, I'm not defeated, I am blessed, I am growing, and I am grounded. So don't just feel gratitude, live it, move with it, speak from it, let it carry you, let it transform how you see everything around you. Because once you begin to walk in gratitude daily, everything starts to change, not just outside of you, but within you. Now comes the moment of decision. You've heard the habits, you've felt the conviction, you know deep down that you were made for more. that something inside you is crying out for a new rhythm, a new direction, a new level of strength, peace, and purpose. But none of this matters if it stays in your head, because transformation doesn't come from inspiration alone. It comes from application. And that's why this challenge is not about trying, it's about committing. Not someday, not when it's convenient, now.